the writing room in Hollywood has gotten real lazy.
Got real lazy because the
Real
last
lazy.
time writing was ever good in something like that was The Wire. The Wire didn't have too many holes in it, you know.
And the new city the new show that's based out of Baltimore, We Own the City. It just made me go. It made me go to HBO Max as soon as I watched the first episode. Like, you know what? If I want to watch something based in the city of Baltimore, I'll just watch The Wire. I'll just watch The Wire.
So you can't outdo that one.
Nah.
Now they say HBO Max Winning Time is one of the best first season shows out there.
Now, of course, you know, with things they say loosely based on certain.
So you don't like it because it's not accurate.
No, I love it. I love it.
It's good. I should check it out.
I love it because I think it is an accurate portrayal of Magic Johnson. Kareem he probably doesn't like it, but he would probably say it's 80% true. And just everything that went on around that team, like the relationship between Kareem and Spencer Haywood going back to New York and how he struggled, and the relationship that was being built between Magic and Kareem. You know what I'm saying? Because Magic is really like that dude. Magic was like a Pied Piper, man. That wasn't really going to. He loved Cap, loved Kareem, looked up to him, but he wasn't about to back down or like, you know, step out of the spotlight. He was the spotlight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Kareem was the one that loved being in the background. So Winning Time is fantastic. I'll be honest, man. I'm liking certain episodes of this season of Atlanta. And then other episodes, I'm like, you know. Like I see like Ashley Hill said Kareem said it was fixing. Kareem was lying, dude. Because it's too many people. Too many people have already said that Kareem was an a-hole, dude.
Yeah.
He's a known a-hole.
What are you saying about Bron just made him look like a hater even more?
So and it's like that's you know, Jerry West doesn't like the way he's portrayed, but yo, I'll keep it a buck. Jerry West turned into one of the greatest general managers of all time. Like, you say what you want to say about his record in the NBA Finals.
But you know what's crazy too is that all the people that are really upset are people that really didn't have social medias back then. So all the stuff that's probably being exposed is stuff that they like, man, y'all not supposed to know that because, you know, nowadays, people that are closer in the social media age, they expect something to be popped up of a vulnerable time. But these older people like Jerry West and those guys, they like, man, y'all supposed to leave that where it was. Y'all lying. Y'all lying.
Facts. So, you know what was the dopest thing that stood out to me? And this can be a lesson in life. How someone can be so disciplined in one area and so undisciplined in another area. Like to this day, Magic Johnson has never drank and never done drugs. Never drank, never done drugs. And he was in the middle of everything. But he was smashing he was smashing everything moving. Self-admittedly.
Exclusive though.
Say it again.
I think that's mutually exclusive.
What I'm saying is he was so locked in to winning. But then you go to the other side and he was like, he couldn't be as disciplined.
That's winning though.
You know what I'm saying? That is winning. You're right. I guess that is winning. Lucky Lefty Podcast. We're brought to you featuring Onora Whisky. OnoraWhisky.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhisky.com. You're right, bro. At that point in time, as a 19-year-old, that is winning. In LA,
You really staying away from all the bad stuff and really winning on everything.
Man.
Everything that you could win on at that time, you probably winning on.
Yeah. And see, he truly is, and this is gonna sound really misogynist. I'm sorry. But that is like every man's dream, right? To have at a young age, to have the love of your life, that's the one, and to go do what you want to do and be able to still have her on the back end. Like
on the shelf.
Right. Like that's every man's dream, right?
The perfect world.
That's the perfect world. To have the one,
shelf the one,
do what you do, and still
and then be good. You know,
spend the rest of your life with
they
the
say
one.
a phase. They say it was a phase. Yeah. Short period of time.
Yo, that's crazy. So last night,
but you gotta think too. You also the point guard for the Lakers, and you winning championships and stuff. So, but they say your level of tolerance goes up with level of play.
Yeah, and it's amazing because I think he enjoyed. Also, one thing you'll see when you watch it, you see the beginning of the NBA narrative machine and how it played out in the NBA Finals and how David Stern was behind it. You'll see that as well. Because the NBA narrative machine, I talked about it on Monday night. Look, man, the NBA is the best at marketing. They might be the best league at marketing.
Really?
Yeah.
Better than the NFL?
I don't think the NFL. I think the media just knows that that's the number one sport. And they just put it out there in front of everybody. The NBA, as far as its players, you know more NBA players than you know NFL players.
That's not true. That's not true because
I'll take that bet.
But you don't know past the starting six on a lot of teams. You don't know past the starting six on a lot of teams.
Dude, most kids don't know past one or two players on a football team.
Well, you know a lot of players on a football team.
No, you just play the game. That's why you feel that way.
No, but just by sheer numbers, you're gonna know. Okay, if you're talking about
let me ask you a question. Because you don't see the faces for 70% of the game, when you're watching a football game, kids aren't seeing the faces of players. They see the jerseys. Now, if you want to talk about the jerseys,
that's an old argument now because we got social media. We got social media.
No, it's not. I talk to kids all the time. I talk to kids all the time in the hood. I'm telling you, kids can argue you down. Kids know cats like Gennaro Pargo, dude. Like, think about it. Kids on social media now are following Bronny James. They know all these young kids in 7th and 8th grade that can do these tricks and dribble the ball.
But these are few on a basketball team. Like on those teams that those kids play on, that everybody's like on Mikey's team or Bronny's team. You don't know nobody else on that team other than those guys.
That's not true. Because, dude, go look at the followers. We talked about this. I talked about this with some AAU coaches. There are kids on AAU teams that get no tick that have 1 million followers. Just because they post their workout videos. It's like, dude, now, like with social media, the game of basketball is far easier to market. Like you can't go, no one's recording kids at the park playing a game of football like we used to back in the day. I'm sure it's still happening.
But those workout videos and training videos for football are doing the same. Obviously, football has more people involved in the sport. So by sheer number alone, of course you're not gonna know as many as a basketball team, but a lot of people don't know a lot of basketball players either, outside of the ones that are the most marketable either on social media or on a college basketball team, for instance. How many people know anybody on a college basketball team? Because college basketball has very, very few stars. So in a non-star league like college basketball compared to college football, you won't. I don't know many players on Wisconsin's
No,
basketball team. I
that's
can tell you a lot of football players on Texas University just because it's Texas football.
that's regional. Well, see, I'm speaking from a standpoint. First of all, Chicago has no college football team, so I can tell you now.
Northwestern,
Man, stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing with me. You know what? That's actually their marketing mantra. Chicago's football team. Like, bro. Stop.
wait a minute. Loyola, you can't count them boys out.
Loyola doesn't have a football team.
They have basketball team. I thought you said basketball.
No, I'm talking about football.
Oh, yeah, Northwestern's a foot man. What? That's
You know what I mean? Chicago
Wildcats.
Come on, man. So it's in the South.
Championship.
In the South, I would definitely say kids know football players more than they know basketball players. In cities like DC, New York, Chicago,
California.
Well, you're out there. I don't know. I don't know what the culture of high school basketball is like in LA. I know they put a lot of players in the NBA, so the culture has to be big.
Oh, it's a big state.
I mean, let's be real. Like over the summer, they have the best pro-am, the most like legendary pro-am
and stuff. But is Texas considered the South, or is that considered like part of the West too? Because I believe Texas football is way more known than
basketball. Texas football might be bigger than NFL, dog. Like Texas high school football? Are you serious? And man, dude, early. Can I put a early ticket for the Petty train?
Yeah.
The mayor of Dallas. Stop being dumb. Talking about he wants a second team in Dallas. Shut up.
Wait a minute. What's wrong with that?
Because he's stupid. He's stupid. He's stupid. Stop making dumb comments, man, trying to increase your political strength.
LA does it.
Now, you just talked about football in Texas, bro. And you know darn well what the biggest brand in Texas is. You know darn well.
In sports.
The Texans are barely operating on fumes in the state of Texas.
Yeah,
barely.
They got a nice stadium, too.
They got a nice stadium. Nah, man. Mayor Johnson, relax, man.
It ain't enough good quarterbacks to start another expansion team.
But I'll say this. Now this is the dead part of college football. You waiting for camp to start in July for the NFL. Basketball is about to own the next 2 months. All you're going to see is AAU clips, Bronny James clips, the next great 8th grader clips, because over the next 2 to 3 months, that's what's happening. Basketball, from the NBA all the way down to the little kids. That's all you're going to see.
Football leagues are popping up.
All you're going
to see. It's the same thing. Social media is the driver of all. What I believe sports is becoming is 50-50 sports and entertainment.
And that's sad.
What? Why is it sad?
Because I'm not that dude.
Entertainment drives sports.
No. To the masses. A dude like me, I still to this day sit up and watch a 9-inning baseball game. And you know that's boring.
Yeah.
I don't need any entertainment, dude. I just love sports. I don't need all the entertainment factor. I'll go watch some kids at the park right now.
So after a touchdown, they start dancing. That's not your thing.
I can live with it or without it. I'll laugh. I'm entertained, but it's not like I need to be entertained to enjoy the game. I don't.
Okay.
There are some people that may need that. Now, with that being said,
would you consider Steph Curry entertainment?
The way he plays the game is very entertaining.
That's sports.
But heck, Shaq dominating and dunking on everybody was just as entertaining. I mean, look, I'm talking about the way they play the game. That entertains me. Just watching them play, that's entertaining. You know, all the shimmy and all that stuff. Dude,
that's what the kids love, though. That's what
I'm oohing and on when he hits the three. Like, I don't need the extra stuff. Just the fact he just hit a three from 28, like, ooh. Yeah. The fact he just crossed you up, made you step back and did a step back, all of that, all I need is the game. That's all I need. I'm cool. I'm that much of a sports fanatic that all I need is the game. And I understand how sports needs to evolve to continue to grow, to compete with all of the other options out there. Because people have a lot of options as far as viewing, giving their time, podcasts, and all of that. So if you're not entertaining, which I think we do a decent job of doing, on top of talking about culture, sports, and Notre Dame football, you have to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. I definitely get it. But like I said, I don't need it. Like, I'll go down to Jefferson Park right now in the city. No, I'll go right there, Jesse Owens Park on 87th, where Juwan Howard grew up playing, across the street from CBS. I'll go sit right there and watch youngsters hoop and trash talk. And the trash talk will be the entertainment for me.
Yeah,
like, yo.
But that's what I'm saying. That's sports, though. The trash talk is increased in kids' sports, the college sports. Is trash talk even worse out there, I think.
And it's funny because, you know, you see and hear, specifically with baseball, like, we need to speed up the game. We need to add this to the broadcast. We need to add that to the broadcast. It's like, look, man, at some point, the game is the game. Like, I don't care what you put around it. The main attraction is the game.
Yeah.
So you can do all these tricks and the game sucks. Like last night, everybody got pumped up. Game 5. Pivotal game. Miami. 76ers. Build it up. Pre-game. All of this stuff. The game was boring. You got nothing. So at the end of the day, they could talk about the build-up for Notre Dame, Ohio State is going to be massive.
It's going to be massive, but it should be. It's deservedly so. So many storylines. I mean, I think it'd be the best game of the year. I ain't going to lie.
It's going to be massive. But when we walk out of there with a 2-touchdown victory, it's going to be a boring game.
You got us 2 scores? I think it's, I'll say 10. I think we get 10.
Okay, we smack them in the mouth, and everybody's going to be like, well, the game didn't live up to the hype. You're right.
I don't think there's no way this game doesn't live up to the hype, because I don't think they'll blow us out.
I do.
But I think it'll come down to at least a 10-point victory on somebody. You think we're going to blow them out?
Bro.
Call it.
How long have I been wait a minute. How long have I been on this hill?
I didn't know about blowing them out. I knew about winning. We was on the winning hill.
No. I told you I'm stepping in the bus talking that ish.
We on the winning hill. Yeah, I thought.
I'm not talking that ish for a 1-point victory.
Oh
no.
What you saying there?
What you mean? I've been said a double-digit win.
What's double? Like, that's 10 or 35 or what?
Come on, we're not winning by 35.
I want to know where you talk, because I need to know where we shooting at. I'm saying 10.
That's maybe double digits, 9. Right?
Maybe 9. I'll say 9.
I just said 2 touchdowns. I just said it, man.
I like the confidence, man.
Why not? You got to have it. Shout out to Irish Chi-Town. Foster Park is another great park to go watch kids play basketball and baseball. Great baseball program at Foster Park. That's all I'm saying. Yo, I appreciate you, Connor. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Go hard or don't go it up, man. Come hard or don't come at all, dude. That's all I'm saying. What are we doing? If we're gonna step up
Marcus
in the
Freeman
bus,
gonna be leading that charge though.
I'm not about to step up in the bus quiet.
Oh yeah, we're not going quiet. They're gonna have to know.
Oh man, Connor, happy birthday, my dude.
Happy birthday, Connor.
26
Real.
years. You got a lot of life left in you, man. A lot of life left.
Yeah, if you're thinking you live 10 decades, you only in your second one.
Yeah, 26. Man, 26. I was celebrating 1 year on my wedding anniversary.
Oh man, wow. Congratulations.
I had been married a year at 26.
What was it like?
After a year?
Yeah.
First year was bananas, bro. First year is bananas. Because you tell each other like at least 2 or 3 times, like, I'm done. That first year is funny. You can look back at it and laugh now, but it's like that first year, it's like, I'm done. I'm done too.
It's a stupid decision.
Yeah, and then you still think you can run to your parents' house, and your parents look at you like, it's time for you to go home.
You got a home now.
Exactly.
Over here,
Lucky Lefty podcast. Let's get into a little Notre Dame football, man. So the last few shows, we talked about the strengths and weaknesses for Notre Dame coming out of spring practice. And then on yesterday, we gave our breakout players. I didn't want to go for the low-hanging fruit, but I had to for the offensive side of the ball. Today we want to talk about the must-haves. Like in order for Notre Dame to have a successful season, Notre Dame must have this. You gotta have it. Gotta have it, right? So I want to go back to Marcus Freeman. And he met with the media days prior to the blue and gold game. And he talked about what he wanted to have as far as a depth chart and how he viewed the depth chart.
Yeah, I look at the DB position, right? The safety position. That's a deep group, right? You talk about Houston and DJ and Brandon Joseph and Ramon and Xavier. That group will have a 1A and 1B for sure. And it's something going into the spring you probably didn't know. The D-line is extremely deep, and that's with Jason not practicing, but with Foskey and Justin and Howard Cross has had an unbelievable spring. An unbelievable spring. And he's done a great job, and Lacey, and I go on, but I think the depth of our middle, right? Up the middle, we're really, really deep, especially defensively, from the D-line to the linebackers to the safeties. Right up the middle, we're deep. We have to continue to develop some young guys. Cam's out at corner, so we got to develop some young guys at corner. The O-line, I wouldn't say we're 1As and 1Bs yet, but I'm really, really pleased with some of those 1As. And so, again, the running back position would never be. I think up the middle, we're really, really strong, and we have to continue to develop on the edges.
You tell me, because there's an old adage in baseball that championship teams are strong up the middle, meaning your catcher, your pitching, your shortstop, the second baseman, because they are the anchors of the defense, and your center fielder. If you're strong up the middle, you're going to be a championship team. Is it the same? Because he talked about being strong up the middle. Is it the same for football?
A lot of it is the same because if you can stop the run, that handles a lot of football games. I believe personally, if you could just shut off the run in college football, you're going to win 80% of your games. A lot of it is because you make teams one-dimensional, and two, to put the pressure on a young kid, 18 years old, throw the ball 30, 40 times a game and come out with a win is asking a lot.
Yeah.
Especially if you can't get over 3 or 4 yards of carry. So a lot of that comes from being stout up front and in the middle, being able to defeat secondary blocks at the second level, and not being able to allow linemen to climb to the second level with those big Jordan Davis type of players. Georgia's biggest strength was their middle, and the fact that you wasn't getting nothing past 2 or 3 yards. So everything else, you just playing athlete on athlete, and they have better athletes. So I think Marcus Freeman hit it dead on the head with the strength in the middle, and we recruited like it, and we'll start to see the results, especially in that first game. If Ohio State and Trey Henderson can't get in those pockets, it'll be a lot easier to play the pass knowing that it's coming.
CJ Stroud, who is probably, as it sits right now, the number one pick in the 2023 NFL draft. I think most people would agree with that. So that's the quarterback you'll be facing. But like you said, shutting down Travion Henderson is the key to the game. Like if you make CJ one-dimensional, I don't care how good his wide receivers
it's just not many guys that can, if any, Patrick Mahomes maybe,
right?
Tom Brady maybe. Yeah. We talking about NFL at that point,
right?
I mean, Bryce Young did a really good job, but we saw what happened when Alabama became one-dimensional and then lost a receiver. As great as the Heisman Bryce Young was last season, he couldn't get it done. But that was also a Hall of Fame defense. 5 first-rounders. That's crazy.
Yeah, once-in-a-lifetime defense. Congratulations to our guy Jay Henry celebrating his 1-year anniversary on May the 16th. Oh, man. One day, bro. One day. This is my question. If and when you do decide to walk down the aisle, you going fro or braids? I knew it would have to something you have to think about.
What looks better like 50 years down the road? A hairstyle or a fresh cut? Always think if you got your hair
me now
at its peak, like if you had to look back right now.
See, I'm backwards. Like I'm in the process of growing my hair out because I grow my hair out in the summer. I do it backwards. I grow my hair out in the summer and then I cut it in the winter.
Really? Yeah, that's definitely backwards.
It's
definitely
backwards. But so like I'll grow this out. I'll get a little fro. I'll put a little juices and berries in it.
Yeah, got to.
So it can curl a little bit. And the missus actually likes that style. She's like,
okay,
waves, but she prefers the juices and berries with a little.
That thing pop a little bit more.
Right. So
now, was that in your wedding pictures?
No, wedding pictures was just straight waves.
See,
right, because it was the springtime, and I didn't have an opportunity to grow it, so I would definitely. My hair for prom had the juices and berries, so I would probably prefer to have the hair in the juices and berries, right?
Because you can always get the waves.
Yeah, man. You can always cut it off, get the waves, throw the hot towel on it with a little you dig.
I'm saying,
so be different. That's what I'm saying. Be different. Maybe even grow the Philly style beard out a little bit.
See,
you know what I'm saying?
Just look complete one time.
Yeah.
Because when you can't get it back, you can't get it back.
No, and that's what I like about Notre Dame, right? Marcus Freeman is no longer taking the low cut wave approach when it comes to recruiting and when it comes to establishing the identity of this team.
Yeah,
like I've never heard 1A, 1B. I'm sure another coach has said it, but I love to hear him say that. And I love him saying basically this entire roster can ball out. That's the expectation. The expectation is for this entire roster to ball out. We're going to go out and recruit like every recruit can ball out. There are no throw-ins on the back end. We're not settling for kids. We're trying to get 4 stars and up.
In the classes we recruiting right now are proving it. We haven't got a 3-star.
No, not at this moment.
No,
and
not at this moment.
The Zaire kid, I think the Zaire kid might be the lowest rated, depending upon who you talk to. So yeah, with all that being said, I think so. Now, were you shocked that he talked about the O-line not quite having like the same depth? Because I think that the position that shocked us from the beginning of spring practice, as far as their growth, the beginning of spring practice to the end, was the defensive line. We'll get to that. But the offensive line, he loves the 1As, he said. He's not sure if he has 1Bs quite yet. But he has Harry Houston.
And those ain't really Harry's guys yet.
No, but they'll be ready.
They'll turn into Harry's guys, but they so it's something that's what they call a transition phase.
Yeah.
And that's why he said, I don't love them yet. I'm gonna love them. But they ain't got it just down yet.
And like you said, the mentality that will exist, that's the biggest switch. Like, because how many offensive coordinators did you have?
I had 3.
Right.
Well, honestly, it was like the Lakers, a collaborative effort. We had a Rob Pelinka, a Jeannie Buss, Chris Rambis, a Magic Johnson, all calling the plays. So
okay.
It was the collaborative effort. So we probably had about 5 or 6 at one time.
So Mike Denbrock was your OC at one point, correct?
Yeah.
This is a perfect time for you to go ahead and give a PSA to all interested elite quarterbacks as to why you don't need to go be under Mike Denbrock. Like, go ahead.
I mean, you just got to check the tape. I think they've always been pretty consistent on what they want to run, but it really takes a special guy to do it. So you've seen a guy like Desmond Ridder be able to do it, but on the back end of his career where he started to get noticed because it is a quarterback-driven system. Unfortunately, not every guy that runs the system is a it guy. So for him to be able to, if you're not the guy, don't go there for sure. But in terms of a development standpoint, you got to really develop on your own or be the guy already to thrive in that offense, which I think is a hit or miss for a lot of guys. But, if it does have some success, if you can run it the right way, I do think that it needs to evolve more. But those guys are been doing the same thing for a long time. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They not fixing it. They gonna keep trying to win with it, and we're gonna see how it goes.
Like I said, man, to any elite quarterbacks in the class of 2023 that might have Notre Dame interest and might be interested in teams like Oregon and LSU, you can go be 9-3.
Yeah, you're just gonna be a 9-3 team
in the Pac-12, or you can consistently lose to Alabama and Georgia every year. I mean, it's up to you. Or you can come and win. It's that simple.
Yeah. Because you're not gonna go to you're just not gonna go to a team within the conference at this point if you're looking to beat those juggernauts. You can't go to the SEC on a team in Alabama's area and think you beating Alabama. It's gonna take some special ops, some 2-letter programs, ND, to fly in from where we come from.
Yeah,
we go all over the country with it. We can't be stuck in no region, you don't be confined to no conference. We win at a conference championship. We going for the goal. So big time QBs are known at all.
So, and talking about the defensive line, and they surprised us with the development because early on, watching practice and hearing about other practices we didn't have a chance to watch, the O-line was dominating. That's all we kept hearing. O-line is dominating. O-line is dominating. And all of a sudden, as the spring went on, the defensive line began to turn the tide, began to make plays. And linebacker core began to dominate. We started to hear about Maris and Jordan Botello. And Marcus Freeman kind of talked about the process of watching guys like Al Washington and Al Golden and how they talk and how that changed the mindset and developed the defensive line during the spring.
Al's a guy that has a lot of energy. He's a guy that is very, very intelligent. He's really organized. So when you sit in his meetings, right, you feel, okay, what's the message of this meeting? What's the point he's trying to get accomplished? Then you watch the film that he shows. It can be examples from Notre Dame. It could be examples from the NFL. But it's the ability to – you can't just get in front of a room and just start talking, right? You can't present. We said we don't present. Don't just get up there and start talking. Like, there's got to be an atmosphere of, okay, they're engaged. Because you get up there and just start talking and say, hey, I just want to get these words out. Well, 3/4 of people aren't paying attention, okay? And so it's about, bam, setting the tempo, setting the mode. Like, hey, it's meeting time, right? And however you want to do that as a coach, okay? Here's the things I want to get across by words, or it could be we want to teach how do we want to defend a screen. That was one of his meetings the other day. Okay, let's set the tempo. Let's set the mode of this meeting. Let's then set the agenda. We're going to talk about how to defend screens, show them examples from practice, and then show them good and bad examples, and show them good and bad examples, or really good examples from the NFL. And so it's all a method. And it's been really good to see from my chair, just taking notes and being like, hey, man, those are great points. And to see how it's implemented, man, has been really good.
And then the combination of defensive coordinator Al Golden, who has constantly talked about communication. Every practice I've been there and had a chance to view the practice, all he talked about with all parts of the defense is communicate, pre-snap, during the play, communicate, talk to one another. But he also worked exclusively with the defensive ends. This is his impact.
He's super intelligent. Our players, I'll tell you, they've learned a lot of ball. And, it's funny, we were having practice the other day, and Coach Reese was like, hey, are our linebackers, like, really intelligent? It's like this everywhere. And I'm like, no, they just are learning things that I didn't teach them last year. They're learning situations, they're learning alignments and stuff. I mean, Coach Golden is extremely intelligent, has coached a lot of ball, and he's doing a great job.
Oh, you have to love the humility. Did you see the humility just in that statement right there?
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, he's teaching them things that I didn't teach them. Like,
and that's a mark of a great head coach,
Yeah.
a guy that lets his guys coach and is not a overbearing guy, a micromanager. He's more of a communicator, and he believes in the community, and he's built a strong one with his staff. I mean, he went out right away and went after the guys he felt like could make this team strong foundationally. And I think when you look all around the coaching staff, you have foundationally strong coaches. You have a strong D-line coach, a strong O-line coach, a strong secondary, you buffered your administration, if you please, in a way where it's very powerful in the sense that it's attractive to a recruit from an experience level, but a youth level. I think this is overall one of the youngest, mixed with some of the older coaching staffs, a well-balanced staff in the country, and at the right places. You got a kid in a lot of sense at the OC position in Tommy Reese. That's an attractive quality to have. Young head coach with a fresh lineup. That's an attractive quality, but you got experience at your defensive coordinator position and your O-line position where you need more of a technician and a stern guy. So I think, Marcus Freeman has got the formula down pat. He's been listening to his mentors and Tressel and the guys he's talking to, and it's paying off. So hopefully this first game is going to kick off something of what we believe to be a long era in the future.
And I just want to point out that there's a lot of teaching going on. I think sometimes, that's what a coach is in its essence, right? A teacher.
Yeah.
A teacher of the game of football and life as well.
Mm-hmm.
And to see certain units that have been deprived of that in this program over the last couple of years, and to see those units come to life and play with more exuberance and play with more excitement, because it's like, yo, they're starting to get knowledge and thoughts about the game that they never had. And to be able to see it that way, that's one thing. Look, if you go back and you look at this, is the one thing because I've been looking back at a lot of games. And I went back and I watched the Texas game. You guys played with you guys were laughing in the huddle. You know what I'm saying? Between plays. It was like you weren't worried about whether or not you're going to win the game. It was like, yo, we're out here. We're having fun. Let's go execute, and you could just see it. You could just see, even when things weren't going right early in the Virginia game, you could still see, like,
we were just out there. He's like, oh, we'll get it.
Like, we're good. And then all of a sudden, here comes the avalanche. And it was coming right before your injury. So you're starting to get that vibe once again. And we'll get to see it. We'll get to see it. And hopefully they're coming out. I think defensively, you saw in the blue and gold game, the energy they played with, the swag they played with. Both teams, they had it, the depth, and it's just infectious. And I hope they continue to have that same attitude and just play the game, man. Just ultimately, you're playing the same game you've always played. You talk about play calls and everything. You line it up across from somebody, and you have to do your job. Whether you're in zone, man-to-man, whether you're running a dig route, comeback, fly route, post pattern, it's like, yo, do your job, catch the ball, deflect the ball, run down, tackle the man, get away from the tackler, block the guy. Like, the game is still the same.
Yeah, it's definitely still the same, and it's good because I just think the teaching aspect is just so important, like you talk about, because it's underrated in what you're getting in nowadays football, where you got guys like Jordan Addison that's taking visits all over the place. Where are you really going to get coached at this point with the NIL going crazy, transfer portal happening how it is, and guys getting up and leaving at the drop of a hat? I think Notre Dame not being and chasing the trends and getting back to foundational player development is going to be an underrated biggest recruiting piece that we can offer. And we'll start to see that as guys, especially freshmen, get on the field early and develop into three-year guys that come in and get into the draft early. I think we have the coaching staff to develop guys into that. And it makes it easier when you're getting top guys anyway.
Man, you can say that again. You get talent, it makes it. Most people think, and this goes across all sports, right, that it's easier to coach when you don't have talented players. Because people feel like you have to deal with egos and all that stuff. Yo, talented players want to learn, man.
If they can learn from somebody that is, equally talented or respected at that level, if there's something, in my opinion, for elite level athletes, I think it's a respect level on them being the type of people athletes are, chasing greatness and achieving new levels. Guys at the college level that are great, it can become a little monotonous and easy at that level. So to respect the coach that has played or has done things or has been at that level that they want to get to, I think it makes it easier to coach great players. But if you got fantastic players and your coach never did nothing but play softball, it's just hard to really get those guys locked in, as opposed, even though you may know your stuff. It's just a respect thing on, you haven't seen where I'm trying to go, so how do you really know? Not that you don't, but as an elite player, I have to see more than just the X's and O's,
With all of that being said, Marcus Freeman feels really good about his team coming out of the spring. He already knows what the identity of his team is. Just in case you don't know.
I kind of told him this today in the team meeting, is that I have a vision and identity I want for our team, and that's to be a team that can run the ball and stop the run, right? I believe in our O-line and our D-line being the foundation of our team. And so I'm excited to see if that can become our identity. That's my vision. I also want to see a team that's aggressive, You know, that's one of our mantras, challenge everything. What does that mean? It means be aggressive. Do not play timid. Do not play scared. Think outside the box, offensively and defensively, schematically. Be okay with taking chances.
Hey, coach, what's next?
Yeah, recruiting never stops. That's the first thing. Recruiting, right? Today's recruiting, tomorrow's recruiting. Every day we have to recruit, and every coach has to have that mindset. It's about we have to get the best players in the country that fit this place. And so that's an everyday responsibility, an everyday focus. In terms of how do I become a better coach, and I mean, there's many different ways to enhance what you do. You got to be able to talk to other people that are currently head coach or former head coaches, look at situational football, continue to look back at this spring and say, okay, what positions, what schematic areas do we need to improve at, and then try to address them, not wait to fall camp as much as what can we do in June, what can we do in July. You know, you got some coaches going away, but coaches that are here, we have to all maximize the opportunities that we have to be around our players.
Look, man, you remember that episode of Martin when Wallace was going shoe shopping with Gina and Pam all the time?
Yeah.
And finally he talked to Wallace and found out what the real deal was. He was interested in Pam. What was the song he told him as he got him out of his apartment when he was trying to encourage Wallace to talk to Pam? Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Like, man, I'm sick and tired of hearing about how inexperienced Marcus Freeman is. Just look, ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Nothing to it but to do it, I'm telling you.
He's the head coach. Run out the tunnel and do it. Week 1, across the line, do it. A couple of weeks from there, you're across the sidelines from Mac Brown. Do it. In November, you're across the sidelines from Dabo. Do it. Like, I don't care. Do it. Do it.
And what's great is that he's delivered all the speeches you can give.
Yeah, look.
He's done everything, checked all the boxes. Now it's just go do it.
Just go do it. That's it. It's time to go do it. Like I said, we don't know what the reaction would be from this coaching staff once the live bullets get to going. But ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Ain't nothing to it to do it.
Nothing to do it.
We just want to see it. Let's see it.
And he is continuing, as Chad Bowden said, he is the lead recruiter on every single player, every single recruit. He's the guy. He's the point man. He's the one making the most contact. It's not the way it's been in Notre Dame. And like I said, the staff walked into the pipeline for USC football yesterday.
Yeah, modern day.
Asked for 3 players. Like
the 3 best players.
Yeah. Like people don't do that. Like programs don't even call modern day. They just don't. The same way they don't call Long Beach Poly. It's like, nah, we're not calling. We're not getting the kid out of there.
No.
But Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman doesn't care.
No. It's like, we're going.
I don't give a
gas the jet up. We're going.
Gas it up. We don't do buses.
No. I mean, Marcus Freeman on world tour right now, visiting all the alumni clubs and making his rounds for sure.
Giving great speeches, suit game, immaculate.
Suit game, sweatshirt game. And the brother is fitted and fly, literally.
Man, now see, your uncle could take some tips from
See,
Marcus.
what are you talking about? Unc is fresh
Sharp,
every undisputed.
Uncle Shannon, dude, coat's just a little bit too tight. He needs to go see Marcus Freeman's tape.
He work out. What you mean?
That ain't got to do. Your suit coat is supposed to lay on your body. It shouldn't be a fight to button your coat.
It's not no fight. It's big.
Yeah,
you got the wrong one. It's
big. His tailor's doing him an injustice.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah. I gotta tell Unc, man.
Tell Unc Shannon he needs to call Marcus Freeman up and get his tailor's number.
So it ain't laying right on the brother.
Yeah, it's not laying right. It's supposed to lay. The muscles are never a problem.
You seeing too many
the material is supposed to lay.
Yeah.
You did?
Maybe it's the camera angle.
No.
No.
Come on, man. No.
Fashion Geek dropping that knowledge, man. You gotta learn from me.
Nah, if you want to believe that, then you go right ahead. I don't think for 1 minute that's what it is. I'll give you my 3 must-haves. Okay? And then you give yours. Number 3, we must have a running game. And I mean a dominant running game. Gotta have it. It's a must-have. And I'll throw this. Somebody has to be the workhorse, bro. I understand this committee. That sounds good. Somebody has to become that workhorse at some point. Diggs, estimate, Tyree, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the freshman. Somebody has to be the workhorse. Somebody has to be that guy. All right? Michael Mayer must dominate.
Yes.
He has to dominate.
You stole mine.
Look, he's been really good. Really good in the first 2 seasons.
But he hasn't been. We saw what a tight end can look like in Georgia's tight end.
And
on an impact basis.
As a freshman.
Impact basis.
Yes.
Like you're catching touchdowns to go up in the game. You know, we're not just catching big plays when we winning or, you know, who we calling when the chips are down? 87.
Man.
That's got to be who we call. I agree with you. You stole mine. I had to speak.
Man, he has to dominate, my dude. Has to. And my number 1 must-have. I need 45 sacks. Need it. I need 45. I'm gonna throw
45 sacks on the year.
45 sacks, bro.
It's a lot of sacks.
That is. You know what? You're right.
It's a lot.
I need 40. I'll lower it to 40. And that's I'm including like college football playoff bowl.
But that's what I'm saying. That's championship level.
Yes.
We get that many.
Yes. I need 40 to 45.
We gotta have some hounds now. But the thing is, Marcus Freeman gonna dial it up. We just gotta execute it. Well, Al Golden, I'm sorry. Al Golden gonna dial it up.
And I don't care where they come from. I don't care if it's 5 apiece. I don't care if it's 20 from the D-line, 10 from safeties, and another 10 from linebackers blitzing. Yeah. I'm cool with that.
Brandon Joseph got to get 2 or 3 in there.
Right. He can get his 2 or 3, give Houston 2 or 3, bring a couple of corner blitzes, give Cam 2 or 3. I don't care I don't care what the makeup is, what the composition of the sacks are. I just need 40 to 45.
That's right.
Gotta have it.
Man, those are really good ones.
You know, I try to go off the reservation. The low-hanging fruit I don't like.
See, okay, well, mine be a little different. I need a must-have. We need a secondary presence. I wanna feel a presence when we watch the games that teams don't want to throw. Like teams are resorting to running because they like, you know, throwing it back there with Brandon Joseph and Cam Hart. That's a little risky. I want to see a threat by teams on running the ball more. The second thing I want to see that middle be where Marcus Freeman is saying.
Okay.
No more giving up second level breakdowns and 30-yard gains and big plays over the middle. That middle of the defense with the recruiting that we've seen.
Yeah.
With the spring efforts that we have seen from that linebacking group, that's got to be a massed improvement. So from a secondary presence, meaning better on man-to-man coverage with the ball in the air, to having a better presence and a better speed at that linebacker position, those are must-haves because offensively, in my opinion, what we must have from an offensive standpoint is one of them quarterbacks got to be over 60% completion. I'll just put that on the season. Just give me over 60%. If we really shooting for championship, I need over 67% completion. Yeah. If we're talking championship from those guys. That's not meaning you got to have 400 yards a game. That's not meaning you got to throw for 20 or 40 touchdowns. It just means over 67 completion, meaning when the chips and when your number is called, I know I can get something out of you. So we must have over 67% completion from that position. I don't care who it is. I really don't. Just whoever it is. When it's 3rd and 8, I need to be able to be like, okay, we 67% completion at our quarterback position. Let's go ahead and go for it.
Okay.
We in the red zone. They doing good on the run. Okay, my guy's 67% completion. I can call something. I'm going to get something going. That's what we need.
You know what else I need? And this, you know, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I need Marshall, Cal, and UNLV up out of there early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do. I'm done with that BK era.
Yeah, we're done with the hanging around. Coaching safe.
Coaching safe.
Oh, no. They don't say safe. They say coaching with respect, or they say playing, having some gamesmanship, all that bullshit.
Nah, I need Marshall, Cal, and UNLV up out of there early.
Just go in there, collect their little check first
I'm talking
quarter.
about students back in the city kicking
Start packing up at halftime, loading the bus,
right?
Get the equipment cleaned up,
right?
Because it's over at 3rd quarter.
Enough time to watch the first half and go hit a day party.
Yeah,
downtown.
Get done before traffic get bad. You know what I mean?
Right. We're done with that.
Tailgate still smoking by the time we get out of there.
Absolutely.
The little barbecue pit still, the coal's still on fire and shit. That's how quick it should be over, you know.
So I have a question for you, bro, but I'm going to base it off of, you know, a snippet of Charles Barkley. He was on the pivot. Ryan Clark, Channing Crowder, and Fred Taylor. And they were talking about his time on the Dream Team. Funny clip. Check it out. First of all, who were the best 2 players on Notre Dame squad? It just made me think, like, yo, who are the best 2 players on Notre Dame? Because usually, I can tell you now, best 2 players on Alabama, right?
Or the DN,
yes,
Will Anderson and Bryce Young.
Yeah, you know it. It's just automatic. You know it. Who are the best 2 players on Notre Dame?
That's the problem. Even the guys that's supposed to go first round, I wouldn't necessarily. It's like they're all even too, pretty much.
Am I wrong right now to say Foskey and Mayer?
Mayer doesn't play like it, but Mayer should be. Well, Mayer, I'm not gonna say he doesn't play like it. He doesn't make the impact in the game like you would expect him to, because he should be top 2 player.
Mayer and Foskey, Fisher and Foskey and Mayer. I see. We both want Mayer to elevate his game because we know he has more.
But sometimes it's not him. It's not his problem. Other than now, he does drop that mug sometimes.
We should be mentioning Brandon Joseph. Right? Brandon Joseph can be a candidate, right?
I ain't seen Brandon play for us.
Right.
I'm like a Lakers fan on LeBron. He ain't win for us yet.
Yeah, right. Like, dude, it's easy. Best 2 players on Ohio State, C.J. Stroud and Jibba Smith. Like, it's
easy. It's like you don't take that long.
No, not at all.
But the teams you can't do that for are in question. It's like a superstar league almost. Even Clemson, you can't even say Clemson's best 2.
Well, I know it won't be either of their quarterbacks. I can tell you that right now. It's probably 2 defensive players.
Yeah.
Marcus and Freeman. That's funny.
But who could be? I mean, that's low-hanging fruit, Mayer and Foskey. Who would be the second 2, 3, and 4?
Oh, I can give you a quick 4. I would say the top 4 players are Foskey, Mayer, Hart, Brandon Joseph. Those would be my 4 off the top of my head. Which is
Now, you're
crazy. I
saying
can
best
give you
players
4.
on the team, not most in impacting the game.
No, I've seen Brandon Joseph play. I know how good Brandon Joseph is.
For not Notre Dame, you've been playing against Minnesota,
No.
your school, Illinois. You ain't playing
There
nobody.
you go. I've watched him ball out against Ohio State.
No, yeah, I have too. No, I have too.
So, I know what he's capable of. I think you would have to throw in Blake Fisher. I think Blake Fisher can really be dominant.
I think it's but that's all we hope so. We think so. Bonafide, Bryce Young, Will Anderson for sure.
Oh, without a doubt.
We don't have that bonafide picks yet.
No. I think, and then Jordan Battle for Alabama is probably 3. And then the kid that they brought in from Georgia Tech to transfer.
Yeah, running back.
Yeah, Jameer Gibbs. So, and didn't your boy, Eli Ricks, transfer, right? From LSU?
I mean, they got guys, so we can talk all day about Bama players.
Oh, let's see. DJU, Clemson quarterback is going to be a beast and turn around quarterback. No. Nah.
No.
Maybe you didn't watch that spring game. Honestly, he might have had a worse spring game than Drew Pine. Like, facts. Like,
you should play tight end or something.
Man, his spring game was it was questionable.
He gives you Tim Tebow-esque,
Yeah, it was questionable. You know what? Jared Patterson could be. I wouldn't want him to be one of my top 2 players, but you know me, man. When your top 2 players have to come from certain positions, it says something about your squad.
It says something, yeah. You really only talking about the skill positions.
Right. And you know what time it is.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, each and every day right here. Pettiest stories of the day. Yo, Chuck Daly goes on a petty train because that's petty to tell a man like, yo, you the second best player in the world. Like, that's your compliment. That's how you start your compliment off.
That's what we should be saying to Michael Jordan about LeBron. Look, Michael Jordan is the second best.
Petty Junction brought to you by Onora Whisky, OnoraWhisky.com, and Premium American Whiskey, OnoraWhisky.com, man. The awful tower. The awful tower. That's what I call them. The awful tower. Rudy Gobert. You got to go on the petty train, my boy. For you to tweet out that you would lock Shaq up, fam.
But he got to say something,
Look, man. First of all, the news comes out after they get dismissed by the Dallas Mavericks that he's going to go to the front office and say it's either me or Donovan Mitchell. What? What? Dude, I'm telling you, man, just because people start making money, getting these max contracts, they really think
me or Donovan Mitchell.
Right, bro. Come on, man.
He has no offensive game. That's what's so crazy.
Like, bro, all this off time, man, you have off seasons galore to come up with one offensive move. One. That's it. That's all Utah needs from you. They need you to have one offensive move. Just one. Just a sky hook, baby hook, anything.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Putbacks
That's it.
from Donovan Mitchell.
Yo, it's crazy. Did you see this story out of Florida, man, where the pilot became incapacitated on a plane, came ill, passed out, and a passenger with no flight experience at all was forced to land the plane and landed it successfully.
Real.
First of all, the pilot goes on a petty train like, man, dude, you can't be passing out, bro. Like, that's something you can't do. If you're not feeling well as a pilot, don't start the flight.
Landed the plane like it was a car.
Yes.
Yeah. We straight.
That would be fun, though. I would take that challenge.
Man.
Like if I was on Southwest flight coming back from LA, and they were like, man.
Not no 30,000 feet up.
Hey, as long as I had somebody to talk me through it.
Shit. As you sitting next to a passed out dude? No.
You wouldn't take the challenge?
No, for sure. I'm trying, but
somebody has to take the challenge.
I'm not no sign up. Like, I would love to do that. No.
Hey, man, if that's what's going to allow me to actually walk on land again, man, strap me in.
Don't put me in no position like that. Yeah.
Chris Ayers said, where was the navigator and the two other people in the cockpit? I have no idea. Like, shouldn't the next people in line be like the staff? Like, shouldn't somebody on the staff be like the emergency?
Those guys, they just serve
aviator.
They pretzel servers. They ain't no aviation.
That's something else I got a problem with. Southwest has to do it better. Dude, they got to go back to the Golden Grams or something, dude. Because this little Chex pretzel mix they've been passing out.
They're robbing them because half of the bag's unedible.
They unedible, nasty. I can't rock with it. Go back to the Golden Grams. You know, I like it now because at least they give you the full can. Like if you ask for ginger ale, they give you the full can of ginger ale.
Yeah,
It's the little bar version of the ginger ale, but you know, you get two pours out of it. I can rock with that.
2 sips, more like 2 sips.
Your boy G_no says exactly, Malik.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, man. Just taking directions. Shit, I don't know, man. You know how many buttons are on them little panels?
They're labeled, bro. They're labeled, though.
Do you know how to read them?
I mean, I can read unless they're written in another language.
The wrong thing, that thing go like, you get the
look. I know pull back is going up.
You watching too many movies now. You see how they always pick some stuff before they get to pulling on, so they kick.
Yeah, Troy McIntosh was good, bro. Said when I worked for the airlines, I could not believe like nobody else on the flight is a backup pilot. That's what I'm saying. Can the FA get
you would have to pay them more if they knew that all that training, and they'd be no different from the pilot. They'll be the pilot that serves pretzels.
All right, I got you from now on, Gino. Hey, I'm just saying, bro. I would jump, dude. You know, I like adventures. They're like, man, we need somebody to land the plane.
That's your last adventure. That's your last adventure.
Oh, no. I can do the same thing that they did. Guarantee it.
See, I like more of a boat. Let me put the boat into the dock.
Now, see that boat? I don't rock with that boat.
Really?
No, I don't rock with that boat, fam.
Wow.
I got too much respect for water. Man, water is a powerful thing, my dude. I think people disrespect the water way too much. I think we went to Cancun, and I never forget, we were at this inclusive spot, and they were like, yeah, it's a cruise at night, dinner cruise every night. It goes out to the middle of the Gulf. It anchors down, dinner, great views of the sunset. You're literally 40 miles away from Cuba. That's where they lost me. I was like, if you had left that part out, I'd have been straight. As soon as they said that, I was like, oh, no, I'm done. I'm good on that. I'm good. I don't need any boats pulling up on us, holding us hostage.
Yeah,
I don't need any of that.
you taking yourself out of protection, man. You out in the middle of nowhere.
Literally. Out in the middle of nowhere, man. Now, I would like do a super yacht with a staff and security. Yeah. But like the sailors that go around those trips that have to take the route around Africa and go like right back into the middle, like around Somalia and all that route, man, it's for real G's, man. Because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I'm not allowed to have a piece on board either.
Just a peace of mind, man.
Nah. Is that the scariest thing for you? Like,
flying? Yeah, absolutely.
You would much rather captain a ship?
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
Than fly a plane?
You don't got no chance in the air.
Yeah.
That's why all NBA players don't like when you what they say, defenseless receiver, you defenseless.
Yeah. Yeah, don't touch me when I'm in the air.
Man, yeah, you ain't got no chance.
Like, LA is the crazy from LAX. That's the craziest takeoff, bro.
Yeah.
You're taking off literally over the Pacific.
But it's cool. It's the water, though. You straight.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people like to close the window until they feel the plane turn.
I gotta look.
I gotta look at it.
I gotta make sure shit okay.
Right.
Be like this in the window.
I'm looking the whole time. Like,
all right, we good. All right, we good. All right, we good. We good.
I'm looking at the wing. How everything is operating. Like,
yeah, that thing go like this. I'm like, hold on, make sure y'all put it down now. Make sure I put that.
Make sure everything is cool. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yo, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. Hit that like button. Follow us at Lucky Lefty Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And you can go watch our previous 2 shows from this week. We talked about the strengths and weaknesses and also our breakout players. Now, you got a big show coming up tonight, Irish Players Club, bro.
Irish Players Club, we got Braylon and Bobakar, both 2023 commits, one a receiver, one a DN. Great state of Texas and the great state of Maryland is going to be going down, man. Get your questions. It's on Twitter Spaces. Join the Irish Players Club link on Twitter Spaces. They're going to be on there. We're going to be on there for about an hour. Starts at 8 Eastern. Don't miss it. I mean, it went really well with Peyton Bowen. We got Dante on last time, Carnell on last time. So catching traction. Stay tuned.
Facts. So, brought to you and featured Onora Whisky. OnoraWhisky.com is that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhisky.com. And if you don't drink it, make sure you do so because Marcus Freeman does.
Marcus Freeman does.
It's Onora Whisky.
We got the picks.
Yes, sir. OnoraWhisky.com. For the original Lucky Lefty, Malik Zaire, I'm Shaun Davis. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We're back. Daytimes. Back to the original, 10 a.m. each and every day, Central Standard Time, right here. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Spin it different today.